Hi, today I'm just going to give you a quick look at what the graduated and radial filters do, and also the adjustment brush. So if you look over here in the develop panel, you can see the graduated filter. We just click on that. Now, depending where you want it to be in the picture, you can just say, for instance, we're using it on a sky. So if you just left click and hold and drag that down, and see we've got it. If you look over here on that effect, we've got it set for exposure and negative exposure. And obviously you can have it anything you want. You can have, so if you press and just press the zero key, the O key, you'll see where the filter's affecting the image. Just press that to get rid of it. So I've got this quite dark at the moment, just so you can see it. So yes, you just drag that down, say for instance over a sky or something, and you can compress it as well. And if you're having trouble with it being a bit wonky, you can just press and hold the shift key and drag it down and it'll lock it in place. And then you can just let go. Okay. So also if, for instance, you don't want part of this, if this filter's come down too far and it might be covering a tree or a person or something in the image that you don't want this filter to affect, you can go to over here to brush and then erase. Make sure you've got auto mask on. And you can see now the brush has got a minus sign on the inside, and you can just brush off any effects of that filter's doing. So it's pretty simple. Just got to be a little bit careful. This is obviously going to show it up a bit more because it's basically just a black and white. So that gives you the idea. Okay, so you can do that from anywhere. You can start it from the middle of the picture and drag it up. Anyway, that's that one. So if we go on to now the next one, the radial filter. With the radial filter, you still left click and drag to the size you want. And you can move this anywhere in the image. And you can change its shape. So I really like radial filters for skin softening on portraits, where you can just localize this filter just onto the face. Or it's good for adding pops of light into a landscape or a seascape. Or if you just want to warm an area of a photo up. So you can see here, I mean obviously again you can have anything you like in there. It's affecting the everything outside of the filter. So if we look here, but if you invert it, then it'll affect the inside, and then depending on how much you feather it, just to soften the edges of it to make it less obvious. So it's a very handy filter as well. Okay, so like I said, you can put that anywhere. You can have it just halfway in the shot. You can change the angle, and yeah, so it's very handy. Okay, and the last one we'll do is with just the adjustment brush. And we want this to be exposure as well. And you can see if you adjust the brush, so this basically you'll paint on anything that you want to select from here. And you can also have dodge and burn, iris enchants, softened skin, teeth whitening, and everything with the adjustment brush as well. But we'll just do exposure just to show you. So with this, you can adjust the size with the roller wheel on the mouse, or you can adjust it here, and also the feathering you can adjust here. So as you can see, same thing, you can just paint on whatever adjustment you want to make, and depending on the flow and the feather and the size of the brush, the smaller the brush, the harder it is, and the larger the brush, the more the feathering and the less flow, the more subtle. That's really good for just making adjustments in clouds and just adding a little bit of exposure, and it's great for skin softening as well. So yeah, so that's what that brush does. And yeah, so I hope you found that useful, and thanks for watching.